Hello, you are on the Deacon Kirby YouTube channel, and I'm here to do my review of Bobby Jones Gospel. My feelings on how the show went, what I liked on the show, just my basic opinion on how the show went. And I loved the show. The show was amazing, as always. And let's see, I've been kind of behind on my reviews, so all this week I'm gonna do reviews from Bobby Jones Gospel. From today, the next day, just to catch up. Anyway, but this edition of Bobby Jones Gospel featured a whole lot of people. You had Dottie people, you had LeAndria Johnson, you had Melvin Williams, Johnny Gill, you had JJ Hairston. Just a jam-packed show for this episode of Bobby Jones Gospel. And you had, as always, Bobby Jones Gospel starts off with the Nashville Super Choir. And Bobby Jones was singing, and Johnny Gill joined them singing. They were singing a song called "Searched All Over." Well, searched all over. It's not the Shawn Mitchell "Searched All Over." But you know what? Bobby Jones had grabbed the mic and he was singing, and I just love Bobby Jones' deep voice. And he goes, "Hey, y'all," and well, the first artist that was to perform on the show after the National Super Choir performed was LeAndria Johnson. And she sung this song called Better Days. She was sitting on a stool on the middle of the stage, and she had two other people, somebody on her left side, somebody on her right side, backing her up. LeAndria Johnson is a singer's singer. LeAndria Johnson can sing anybody happy. There are some people that love LeAndria Johnson so much they like to sing like LeAndria. And there's a difference between wanting to sing like LeAndria and singing like LeAndria. See, some people might think they sing like LeAndria and they do the squall and they do the run. And they sound like two cats fighting in the alley. But only LeAndria Johnson can master that sound because she's LeAndria Johnson. So she can master LeAndria Johnson sound because she is LeAndria Johnson. Then you had Melvin Williams and Dottie Peoples singing together a song so good. And I love me some Dottie Peoples. Dottie Peoples is one of my favorite ladies in gospel. This probably was one of my favorite parts on the show because I just love Dottie Peoples. Dottie Peoples can dress, and that blue dress was real nice. Dottie Peoples is a fine, sharp dresser. She dressed beautiful. And with her teaming up with Melvin Williams is phenomenal. He's has his group, quartet gospel group, the Williams Brothers, and this is how you could tell that the Williams Brothers are amazing. Even Aretha Franklin, when she had to sing at the White House, she said, "You know what? I'm gonna need some help when I sing Precious Memories." And you know who she called? She called the Williams Brothers. She had Melvin Williams and his brother come up there. Ernest Pugh. I met that guy before, and Ernest Pugh is a singer. He can sing high notes, he can sing low notes, and I love it when he sings the high notes. I met him one time, and his makeup person is excellent because they make him look young. Because I met him in person after he got finished singing and he sweated everything off. That man looked older than what I thought he was. But he's a singer, and he did he called Bobby Jones over, and they did a little duet together at the end of his performance. And JJ Harrison. JJ Harrison is going to be a great gospel. He already is a great gospel artist, but I'm saying like when he gets like old in his 70s, he's going to be like a phenomenal legend. JJ Harrison can write some phenomenal songs. He can pick some phenomenal singers to sing the songs that he writes. And he had one lady on stage with braids, half hair. She could sing. It's too bad I don't know what her name was. I like to give her some name credit in this video. But if she does watch this video, ma'am, you did that song. The song was "You Are Worthy," and the uniforms JJ Harrison posse was wearing, the girls with the black tops and the white pants, and the guys with the white phenomenal uniform, phenomenal dress code. JJ Harrison, you know how to work your group. They had showed a Bobby Jones Gospel Classic video, and while they were showing that video, I saw Emily Harris, and I just got emotional because I remember seeing Emily Harris on Bobby Jones Gospel every morning. Um, then you had the panel. You know, everybody sits down in the chair, and Bobby Jones discussed with them and talk, and they was talking about their memory of Bobby Jones gospel. It was great how they honored Bobby Jones when they was talking about how Bobby Jones made ways for these unknown artists and independent artists, and why he's still around today after 35 years. Um, LeAndria said Bobby Jones took her on her first cruise. First cruise. You know, I'm like, wow, I need to go on Bobby Jones because I would like to go on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise. But then again, I'm kind of scared if we all the way out there in the middle of water because if the billows roll and breakers dash and the tempest starts raging, I don't want to be on no cruise. But a cruise does sound nice. Dottie Peoples, and I was waiting for them to get down to Dottie People because everybody else had interesting story, but I know Dottie People. She been on Bobby Jones ever since I can remember. I think ever since there was a Dottie Peoples and ever since there was a Bobby Jones gospel, Dottie People been on there because I can't remember a year without seeing Dottie Peoples invited to sing on Bobby Jones. And she talked about her mom is sick, so let's remember to pay for Dottie Peoples' mother. And I don't believe Dottie People going to say she don't think she got the prettiest face in the world. That Dottie Peoples, if you watch this video, you are one beautiful lady. Beautiful in every sense of the word, beautiful. You can dress sharp and nice. And Dottie Peoples had some words to say right there. And I saw Bobby Jones and he said, it's time for commercial because he was about to cry right there. And then you ended the show with LeAndria Johnson. What a great way to end the show with LeAndria Johnson singing God is not through with me yet. I think that's the title of the song. But whatever the title of the song was, she added in the hymn, Hold Together and Change Your Hands. She like sung it like slow and soft. It was a beautiful song, beautifully written. You can tell by LeAndria Johnson's song choice that she grew up listening to old school gospel and she had that environment around her. But altogether, Bobby Jones gospel was great. So I believe this video was at 7 minutes and 30 seconds almost. So I could end it by saying Bobby Jones gospel was wonderful, and this is the farewell season of Bobby Jones gospel. So don't you miss a second of Bobby Jones gospel on BET every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. This has been Dickie Kirby with your Bobby Jones gospel review.